So a Topless Topics community member just shared a link to an article in our Discord, which you can join at toplesstopics.org/chat. And of course, I had to offer some thoughts on it. First of all, the article, which is in The Cut, which is part of New York Magazine, an ad promoting breastfeeding was too much for Times Square. Do you want to see the image that was too much for Times Square? Yep, that's it. Last week, an ad featuring cookbook author Molly Baz with her exposed pregnant belly and 2 cookies covering her breast was supposed to be displayed on a billboard in Times Square. But after just 3 days, the image was taken down for violating I defaulted to saying community guidelines because I'm so used to seeing this bullcrap from YouTube, for violating guidelines on acceptable content, the New York Times reports. Baz developed the recipe for Big Titty Cookies, her version of lactation cookies, which claim to help stimulate milk production for the breastfeeding startup Swell. The cheeky Times Square billboard promoting the collab featured the tagline, "Just add milk." Brex, the company that helped Swell get the billboard up, told the Times that Clear Channel, which manages many New York billboards, had flagged the ad for review. Brex placed the ad with a different photo from the campaign, one of Baz eating a cookie at a kitchen counter while dressed in jeans and a crop top. Gotta keep women in their place, the kitchen, just like that Republican rebuttal from Biden's State of the Address. Remember that? On X, people pointed out that the same billboard often displays images for Skims, Calvin Klein, and Michael Kors underwear and swimsuit. That, of course, reminds me of the Jeremy Allen White Calvin Klein situation, where somehow he's able to be basically this much naked and nothing happens. But then FKA Twigs has this campaign which shows much less. Guess which one got banned? For more of my thoughts on that situation, you can see my video, "Why Should Free the Nipple Still Be Headline News?" over at toplesstopics.org/EuroNewsFTN. Back to the article. After people on X, Twitter, talked about the hypocrisy with what kind of ads they do allow, sparking outrage that a woman's body was deemed inappropriate only in the context of pregnancy and breastfeeding. Guest appearance. The double standard wasn't lost on Baz, who shared her frustration on Instagram. Quote, "Turns out these big titties and prego belly were a little bit too much for Times Square." On Monday, Baz told ABC the ad was intended to celebrate breastfeeding moms, adding, "It's super disheartening and infuriating to me that my kind of first public foray into becoming a public mother was one that was deemed inappropriate." So, now my thoughts. Are we really surprised? Throughout the years that I've been fighting to raise awareness about the absurdity, sexism, misogyny, and transphobia of gender-based censorship, I've heard a gamut of excuses for why this patriarchal double standard should remain the status quo. One false argument I see a lot is that, while yes, of course, we can't have women just casually topless like a man, that clearly is sexually explicit. But breastfeeding is fine. I mean, it's a mother feeding a child. It says right there in the community guidelines on YouTube and Facebook and stuff that they don't ban that stuff. Oh, my sweet summer child, you think that they actually follow their own community guidelines? Oh, bless your innocence. Again, if you want to see more of my thoughts on that subject, you can check out my video, "Why Should Free the Nipple Still Be Headline News?" over at toplesstopics.org/EuroNewsFTN, including screenshots of many other women getting their breastfeeding photos and videos taken down on the very same sites that claim to allow them. So am I surprised that this New York Times Square billboard was taken down? Of course not. But you'll notice a key difference in this photo compared to the lingerie ads that you can see basically anywhere in America and especially online. She's not trying to look sexy. That is not the expression of a woman who exists for male pleasure. That is not her saying, "Oh, boys admire me." Yes, she's visible. Yes, you can see a tiny bit of boob area right here, less than you would see actually in a lingerie ad, but she is not showing proper subservience to the patriarchy. So yeah, of course they banned it. Anyway, I gotta get ready for my live stream, so I'm gonna cut this off here. But thanks to those of you who send me links to articles like this, and it shows me that you also are infuriated about this BS. Now, how do we change this status quo? Simply, you're gonna have to speak out about it. The only way we'll ever change things for the better is if we convince the capitalistic powers that be that they'd actually make more money if they didn't enforce gender-specific censorship. And that means voting with your dollars. And thank you to Molly Baz for daring to challenge the patriarchy with this. She probably had no idea that it was going to cause such an uproar, but hopefully now she and others reading this article will think about it. But if we keep up this fight, maybe we can achieve gender equal protection from censorship, just in time for us all to die from climate change.